see how this goes here. Let's see. It says live. Okay, let's check and see. Live. It says live. Okay, let's mute that. Hi. I'm not going to play my intro. I'm just going to get right into it. This is the picture that I had on my thumbnail, so we will start with this. Good morning, by the way. All right, here we go. Let's get into it.
Spurred largely by exorbitant government spending, would give this Congress pause. But instead of taking a minute to consider what a responsible federal government budget looks like, we are instead placed behind the barrel of a gun, forcing us to choose between letting government expire or blindly passing a $1.7 trillion spending package that not only does not balance, but in fact spends over 10% more than last year. How does Congress spend taxpayers' money? Well, here's just a few examples of how your government currently spends money. We found that they spent last year $2.3 million injecting beagles with cocaine. It seems that they were curious, their researchers were curious, despite the pain they inflicted on these dogs, they were curious to know if cocaine causes adverse effects. Guess what? Read the newspaper. Read the news. Look at the addicts across our country. You think you need to inject beagles with cocaine to know that cocaine's a bad deal? $700,000 was spent to study how male parrots attract their mate. Really? We've got people who go hungry in our country. We got people that are trying to get out from behind poverty, and we're spending $700,000 studying how male parrots attract a female. We spent $187,000 to study whether or not dogs help kids cope. Of course they do. Ask any pet owner. Any pet owner could have told you, and we would have saved the taxpayer $187,000. We spent $118,000 to study if a metal replica, a robot of Marvel Comics' evil warlord Thanos, could snap his fingers. $118,000, really. They apparently hired some dude to wear metal gloves and then try to snap his fingers. You know what? They found out that it's impossible to make a snapping sound with metal fingers. So robots of the world, be warned, it's hard to snap your fingers.
Can you believe this? Unreal. Okay, I had another one with that. I wish I was more put together on this, you know what I'm saying? I try, but sometimes I don't do as well as I thought. Like my last video, I had 6 views. That's okay. It's Christmas time. People are watching stuff, but I did a lot of editing. So anybody can go watch that one and just like make a comment. I spent a lot of time on it. Okay, we're going to watch this one now about the spending, because this is your money, America, that they're doing this stuff with. And it's not right. I mean, I'm not sure what the process is for just stopping government in their tracks because they're out of control. They're doing bad things with your money. They're stealing your money. They're wasting your money. They're saying they're doing one thing with their money and they're doing something else with your money, like pocketing some of your money. spending your money on horrendous things that you just have no idea, spending $50,000 on a toilet, things like that too. That was old news. Way back in the day, they were doing that sort of thing. Today, it's a bigger atrocities. All right, here's McConnell getting slammed. All right, where's the volume though? Wait. Let's see, I thought I had it on here, but where's the volume? Here.
GOP senators who voted for the $1.7 trillion omnibus bill last week. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon on this show last hour saying when Republicans get the gavel next month, things will be different.
The adults in the room will finally be in the majority in the House of Representatives. And so we'll see. What we only guarantee certain things when you control one of the three levers of government. And one of the things that we can guarantee are these trillion-dollar spending bills outside the regular budgetary process will end.
Let's bring in Princeton University political scientist Dr. Lauren Wright and former Clinton pollster Doug Schoen. Great to see you both.
Great
Lauren,
to see you.
What do you make of Republicans threatening to retaliate against these 18 GOP senators who voted to approve this massive spending bill? The GOP senators had argued that it would have been better to wait for the GOP to take control of the House in January to pass it, arguing that this would have given Republicans more leverage. Do you agree with them?
No, I don't agree with them because, frankly, and I'm sure it's an unpopular position, but Mitch McConnell is not the problem that Republicans have right now. The problem is the extreme Trump wing of the party, and McConnell, despite his unpopularity, yes, he's to blame for a lot of things, but he understands the drudgery and the difficulty of policymaking very well and didn't want to kick this can down the road to a time when Republicans do control one chamber, would be blamed for the spending. And he's thinking about, as cynical as it is, who's going to be to blame and what's the alternative? And frankly, the alternative for Republicans would have been a massive spending bill, just not quite as much in certain areas. I definitely understand the anger among the Republican caucus. It's an 8% increase in non-emergency spending. It's a 10% increase in defense spending. But what does the alternative look like, and is it worth a government shutdown? And those are the types of calculations that McConnell is making.
Doug, what will happen in 8 days when the GOP reclaims the House, you think?
I think there's going to be more polarization, more division, more fighting. And most of all, if you listen to the House Republicans, more investigations. I think we're going to see the right wing of the Republican Party, whether it be the 18 or so the Freedom Caucus in the House or the Trump wing, as Lauren was saying, in the Senate, being increasingly restive and increasingly assertive. This is a divided Republican Party. My own party, the Democrats, are divided between the progressives and the moderates. This is a recipe for gridlock or worse come the new Congress.
Molly Hemingway, the senior editor at The Federalist, is among those pointing the finger at McConnell. Lauren, she writes in The Federalist, GOP can't be successful until Mitch McConnell is gone. Rather than present a coherent and persuasive vision of what Republican control of the Senate might look like, too often McConnell overtly or covertly helped Democrats pass their signature policy goals. Will the GOP ultimately have McConnell to blame, I guess, for what will they assume be the demise of the GOP moving forward?
They really don't. And again, I understand McConnell is unpopular and he's a big focal point as party leadership. But, he's not that much more unpopular than Schumer is on the Democratic side. And that's because these people have highly visible powerful positions. McConnell, if you look at the midterms, for instance, warned very early on that extreme GOP Senate candidates would cost Republicans the Senate. In a year, they should have taken control back because Democrats are very unpopular right now. Their message is unpopular. The economic policies are unpopular. We have historic inflation. So that's a time Republicans should be doing well, except for the fact that they're not paying attention to moderate voters.
Doug, I'm going to give you the final word to
I'm going to not give you the final word, Doug, because you guys are just, there's nothing there. Like, it's a criminal takeover. So this was a pretty funny picture here. All right, so let's see. I have a list here of things that I'm going to go over so that I can kind of keep on track. So that was the omnibus stupidity clown world spending your money spree. 1.7 trillion with a T. Okay. Let's see. Let's get on with it here. Go right here. All right. So there was a murder, suicide at a Jehovah Witness Kingdom Hall. Took place in Colorado.
Back to this breaking news that we have been following from the Denver, Colorado area. Law enforcement from several agencies have been on the scene for hours here at the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses in Thornton. That is where the Thornton Police Department now says they are working an apparent murder-suicide after a man shot and killed his wife, then turned the gun on himself. Investigators say the two were former members of that congregation, and they also say the bomb squad is working to identify several suspicious devices that were found there at the scene. Again, you're looking at video from moments ago here at the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses in Thornton, Colorado. This is still considered to be an active investigation, but does appear to be a murder-suicide. Police saying they initially responded to a call of a structure fire there and found the two deceased. At this point, no news conference has been called, but if there is one, we will bring it to you live, raw, and unfiltered as we do here on Live Now from Fox.
Live Now from Fox. I had another one too. I was like, where the weather was going on. Was it this one? I think so. Let's play this one next.
Holiday storm blamed for more than 50 deaths, more than dozens of those, at least 29 in New York State alone, and the city of Buffalo still paralyzed. Mona Kosar-Abdi is back braving the cold for us as more snow is expected. Good morning, Mona.
Janae, good morning. I'm on Niagara Street, one of the main streets in downtown Buffalo, and while a driving ban is in effect, you can see that there are more cars on the road this morning. There is only one lane open in both directions, and drivers and snowplows that are trying to go down this road are having to navigate around cars like this one that have been here since before Christmas.
This morning, the death toll in western New York rising after what officials are calling the blizzard of the century. A winter nightmare unfolding, at least 51 dead nationwide, 29 in New York State alone. Roads still impassable, forklifts used to clear vehicles.
This blizzard is the one for the ages.
Wanda Brown Steele's daughter, among one of the victims, found dead in her car after the snow rapidly piled up.
It's so easy to ask yourself, why, God? Why?
Emergency responders in Buffalo fighting multiple house fires, leaving crews in a dangerous battle with both fire and ice. More than 50 inches of snow have fallen in Buffalo over the past 3 days. In many neighborhoods, residents now turning to one another for life-saving help.
I'm coming.
Buffalo resident Shakira Autry took to social media after she heard 64-year-old Joseph White in distress outside her home and brought him inside on Sunday.
I found him screaming for help. When I looked out the window,
He was getting blowed up and down the street. It was out of control.
Autry updating social media in a second video.
All right, what vehicle am I getting? I'm gonna go.
Taking White to the emergency room of Erie County Medical Center on Sunday with the help of strangers. And one mother with no electricity, desperate to keep her baby alive when his ventilator suddenly stopped. Speaking to our ABC station, WKBW.
I was sitting there literally crying, wishing someone would just knock on my door, literally. And you know, if they said they knocked and no one was there, if they knew a mother and father and child were in there, they should have broke the door down. We were in there. We needed help.
Shahida Muhammad and her husband manually administered breaths to their infant for 2 days until Good Samaritans came to their aid. And elsewhere in the city, longtime residents opening up their homes to these visitors from half a world away after a knock on their door.
They said, we're part of a tour group from South Korea, and we have 10 people in our vehicle. And I said, get all of them inside our house right now.
Oh.
And all day yesterday, we saw people coming back to their vehicles, trying to dig it out. And we also saw Good Samaritans just going around and trying to help them get their cars out of the snow. Now, the Buffalo airport is expected to reopen tomorrow. The airfield has been closed, guys, since Friday.
Just an unbelievable toll that this storm has taken on the people of that city, Mona, who are used to storms. Thank you so much for that update.
Hi, everyone.
That was wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, what else do I got here? Let's see. Ukrainian drone goes deep into Russia.
Surveillance video captured this explosion on Monday in Russia, hundreds of miles from the Ukrainian frontier. The culprit for the deadly blast at the main base for Moscow's long-range bombers was a drone, believed to be Ukrainian. Moscow says 3 service members died when it shot the drone down. Some accounts said planes were damaged, although Russia said they weren't. Reuters could not verify the reports either way, and Ukraine did not comment. The incident could be the latest attack to expose gaps in Russia's air defenses. The same base was struck just 3 weeks earlier by a suspected drone. Kyiv says the base is home to bombers that have targeted Ukraine's civilian infrastructure. Also on Monday, Russian President Vladimir Putin met with leaders of former Soviet states, but did not make any direct references to the war in televised remarks. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the situation at the front in the Donbas region, including in Bakhmut, was difficult and painful and would require all of the country's strength and concentration. As the war enters its 11th month, Putin has said he's open to negotiations over Ukraine, but has shown no sign of retreating from his demand that Kyiv recognize Moscow's armed conquest of a fifth of the country. For its part, Kyiv says it will fight until Russia withdraws. Tens of thousands of Ukrainian civilians have died in cities Russia razed to the ground, and thousands of troops on both sides have been killed. Since October, Russia has been deliberately targeting Ukraine's energy infrastructure with drones and missiles. Moscow says the aim is to degrade Kyiv's ability to fight. Ukraine says the attacks have no military purpose and are intended to harm civilians as winter sets in, calling it a war crime.
Okay, that was good. Isn't it beautiful? It's like all in the rock. What an amazing place. Look at that water. Wow. Beautiful. Wish they had a better camera. That was awesome. Look at them all packed in the back. Muddy. You better run.
هذا بتكسر السيارة. قاعد بتنزل حجر مباشر؟ لا والله بصور فيديو. اقسم بالله زي هيك بنزل في السيكة. لا نهار النهار. بسرعة دغري. شو رجعنا والله ما نقدر نرجع. الله أكبر. أيوة.
I would love to visit that place. Petra, desert city of Petra. Footage from Jordan's most visited tourist attraction, 150 miles south of Jerusalem, shows a river of water pouring into the gorge into the entrance of the Petra temple as panicked tourists flee. Okay, the Abrahamic Accords are about to gather again. So, hey, Sacred Serbian. So, we got to keep an eye on this because this could be the peace treaty that begins the 7-year tribulation. Also, another thing about this is Agenda 2030, where they want to depopulate by 95% by 2030. So that would be, I mean, it's going to happen during the Great Tribulation, whether it's, you know, done by man or done by God, you know, through the weather, through the plagues, through the 4 horsemen, through the, you know, the bowls, the trumpets, the seals opening, all of that stuff. It will be depopulated, plus the rapture, you know, that it'll be depopulated probably by 95%. But there's going to be 144,000 Jews that flee into the wilderness from the 12 tribes. So you got 12,000 from each tribe. Is that right? And so it comes to 144,000 that have to flee into the wilderness. And you just saw 150 miles from Jerusalem is Petra. And this is where, forgot which evangelist it was, Billy Graham maybe? Sorry if I got it wrong. Put like thousands of Bibles in there, New and Old Testament, so that those Jews could know about the Great Tribulation and what time they're living in. So let's look and see what this says.
Well, turning.
There's still time for you to change lives this year by giving a gift to CBN, because your gift may be
Now overseas, where leaders are hoping to expand and strengthen the Abraham Accords. The 2020 agreements marked a turning point in the Middle East by establishing formal relations between Israel and some of its Arab neighbors. As Chris Mitchell reports from Rome, they're working to spread those principles to other nations.
The event here in Rome is called the Abraham Accords Global Leadership Summit, a first-of-its-kind gathering to expand, build on, and strengthen the Abraham Accords. The summit brought together ambassadors, diplomats, religious leaders, and policymakers. Former Israeli ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, hosted the event.
It's an amazing event where we have dozens of leaders from all around the world coming together to learn from us, the countries in the region who achieved peace, how we did it, and what we can do to help them.
I think this summit is important of 2 reasons. One is that Abraham Accords has been 2 years. Everyone are asking what is next, and I think this conference will try to address that question. Secondly, I think it's significant that this conference is taking place in Europe, in Rome, and I think that we need to look and see how we can get the European countries more involved, so that Europe could play a constructive role in the Middle East.
A major theme of the conference emphasized traditional family values of the Abrahamic religions of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
Traditional family values are the core of whatever peace efforts we want to make. Without basing our main common goals on family values, then we can't actually aim to protect this family.
Unfortunately, I have to say that in the West, the traditional family values have been eroding for the last 60 years, more and more. Having now moved to live in the UAE for the last 2.5 years since the Abraham Accords, have kind of reminded us again of these cherished values of the ages and millennia.
It's important for me because we are talking about Abraham Accords, and then we share the past, the three religions that are coming from Abraham, and I think we need to share the future also.
Economic peace also played a major role in how prosperity can promote peace. Geopolitics surrounding the region are still shifting as China is now courting Saudi Arabia. Even so, Ambassador Danone hinted to participants that the Saudis might be the next country to join the Abraham Accords.
There you have it.
We have been working with the Saudis for many years quietly, and I hope that within a year we'll be able to have another ceremony signing with the Saudis. We want to have peace in the Middle East, and Saudi Arabia is a very important partner for us.
The summit ended with the signing of an Abrahamic values pledge with the goal to help spread the spirit of the Abraham Accords to the nations. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Rome.
I said. So they're pumping it up, you guys. They're pumping it up, and we'll see what's on the agenda for next year. Here's the Agenda 21 thing I was telling you about. Right here, it says, surely we can believe in such benevolent goals, yet the devil is found in the details. In truth, it's about world population reduction of up to 95% by 2030, environmental takeover of all lands, still going, financial control of all resources and people. So they're gonna, like, the economy, the crashing of the dollar and all of that, they're gonna gain the financial control. Global domination through socialism, communism. This is what we have to look forward to starting this next year, is this crackdown. And one of these days, that Archangel Michael, he's going to stand up. And right now, it's up to all of us to stand up. Not like this. These are the looters in Paris I'm going to get into next. Let's see. Cross that one off. The agenda for the oh, I do want to play you though what Netanyahu says. It's pretty wild. But yeah, I'll play that when I come down to it. Now, this is going to be got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. But Paris, there's several videos, so I'm just going to try to play these as I can. I think this one was the nearest. Yeah, this was from today. Well, yesterday. Come here. I'll try to turn it down some. They're just going crazy, aren't they? Yeah. It's like, these are the migrants, you know what I mean? These are the people that they took in. Police cars were destroyed by Kurd rioters who immigrated from Turkey and Syria to practice their peaceful religion in France. Oh, is this in France? Okay, Marseille. So a lot of, okay, yeah, Paris is France. Derp. Okay, so let's see. Okay, here's, and then I'm just gonna go, like, I'm gonna show you this one, like yesterday, if you missed it, like, I did a video on the weather. Some of this was in my video. This is probably, you know, the best video I found of a conglomeration of it all. Compacted into a minute. So a lot of these people in these cars and stuff that are off the side of the road, that one had like a tree that was like getting all frozen. But a lot of people in these cars are dying. I played that at the beginning of this video too. Not this video, but a different one. But this kind of shows you some of the footage. Look at that house. I had that one in my stuff and then I couldn't find it for yesterday, so I think they might have taken it down. Oh, there was Tesla. Oh, Tesla's going downhill too. And I got a video of Elon Musk. Unbelievable. I tried to do this with my video, where you just see little bits and pieces of stuff, because the weather's kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame people for not watching that video, but I try to put some of the writing in there and some other good stuff. There is some good stuff in there towards the end, mostly. Like the looters ransacking Walmart and stuff like that are in there. So, it happened a lot. But, like, people were panicked for regular supplies, but they were, like, they took it to the Dollar Generals and stuff like that. But, like, appliances and stuff like that, you don't need that during a winter freeze. Those people, you know, buying, like, I could see shoes or coats or something like that, but people buy, you know, stealing the TVs and things, that's just wrong. Okay, this one's Border Patrol. Should I go ahead? I'll go ahead and play this one because this one's on my list.
Patrol reporting more than 16,000 encounters over the weekend, with only a small percentage expelled under Title 42, 14,000 of them released. The end of Title 42 still in limbo as we wait for the Supreme Court to decide if it stays by today. Otherwise, it's out the window. El Paso, which has seen an uptick even while the policy is in place, has already been preparing for the worst. Border Patrol there setting up a massive tent city just outside of downtown. The New York Post, covering this morning, calls those tents a, quote, welcome mat for illegal immigration. That newly erected processing center is just for the overflow. It's in addition to the permanent one that they already have there. And the state's governor, Greg Abbott, still doing his best to send a border message to the Biden administration. On Christmas Eve, Abbott dropped 3 busloads of illegal immigrants outside of the vice president's home. Not the first time he's done that. Patrol reporting more than 16.
Yeah, I put that one in there too yesterday, where they dropped people off at Kamala Harris's house. Okay, in Australia, there were 2 kids and a baby that were found alive days after a crash that killed their young mother and father on Christmas Day in Western Australia. Their car was finally found 10 kilometers away from their house. So they found the 2 kids and the baby alive. That's pretty cool, huh? Okay, here's HARP. They are pinging an asteroid today. You know, here we go. Like a pool table, you hit a ball, then it goes off into another direction, and then you've got a little bit of chaos, right? Like, it's not how God intended. God put that up there for signs and season, days and years. And then we go putting, you know, nuclear weapons, fishbowl stuff, you know, where they sent up the rockets and tried to break the firmament. So now they're like pinging asteroids. So what's going to happen when these asteroids get off track? They're going to like maybe, come down to hit the Earth. And then you'll have fulfillment of prophecy. Like, it might look like it's going to hit, but then at the last minute, God's got it, under control. But you go messing with that, you're going to bring it down on all our heads. I think we're going to shake the heavens. What would HAARP do? Would HAARP shake the heavens? Could, right? They're going to hit it with a long pulse of 9.6 MHz radio waves. So, I don't know what that would do, but they're going to do what they're going to do. So that's HAARP. Let me get... Let's see, where's HAARP at? Right there. All right. This was an oil refinery in Iraq. So there goes some oil. Turn it down a bit for you. Yeah, look at the pollution, Carbon footprint. It says suspected Iranian drone targets another oil refinery in Iraq city of Erbil. This is some more. I'm just going to keep showing you, empty shelves and stuff in Buffalo where people have looted or whatever. Beautiful rainbow. That was Petra. Okay, here's Elon Musk. You're not going to believe this.
Just dropped like 150 milligram edible, and
what's edible? Ativan? Edible? I don't know.
I'm feeling fucking zooted. Honestly, I'm feeling on the top floor right now. I'm about to design like 30 new
Look at his eyes.
Fucking space cars and get us to Mars.
Okay, I'm gonna play the whole thing without interrupting now.
Just dropped like 150 milligram edible, and I'm feeling fucking zooted. Honestly, I'm feeling on the top floor right now. I'm about to design like 30 new fucking space cars and get us to Mars. Just dropped like 150.
Okay, so look at that. Elon says, please tell me this isn't Elon Musk, Tesla's and Twitter's CEO. Yeah, it is. All right, this is going over the 35 people died as a result of the blizzard. I have a picture of a guy over my head that shows like him in the snow. And then there's another one where the guy's in the snow and he's like face up, but his ding-a-ling is out. So I can't show that. I can't show either one, like, video of it. So just know the homeless people are dying in New York. Okay, there's no way, unless they got into a shelter, which you don't always get into a shelter, I've heard. So people that didn't get into a shelter, there's no way they made it unless somebody took them in. This is about Trump. I wish he would just go ahead and just start on his campaign. Like, go ahead and start it. It's what, 2 years out? So, is that right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep, 21, 22, 23, 24. 2024, we vote again. I want to be like this tiger. And like, it's been so cold here. Even my kitchen pipes, like for the hot water for that, is still frozen. So I just want to get in a hot bath, some Epsom salt, and just like do like this tiger right now. Oh, check this out.
2022.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna let you watch this. I'll be right back.
Well, something did happen. Entities flying very fast, making sharp turns, also making the double helix. Were caught on camera. inevitably flying into the clouds, showing lights all throughout the clouds. God bless.
It's 2022.
What is that?
Can we run that way?
Hang on. What on earth is that? Someone else shooting out in front of it now. There's two of them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my God, guys, you are looking. I don't know what you're looking at, but they're UFOs. If ever there's an unidentified flying object, that's that.
Can we go that way? Can we go that way?
There's two of them flying next to each other. Oh my God, you guys, I don't think you realise how lucky you are to even witness something like this. Look at them.
Oh my God.
What is that?
Can I quickly go that way a bit?
Yeah, go where you want, mate.
I'm running over. But I'm on the golf course. Can I try and run over like really close?
I've never seen anything like it.
Dad?
Yeah?
Is that a road there? Yeah. I'm just go on the field.
Maybe Elon Musk designed that.
Paranormal caught on camera. This one's you. Look at this. Wow. Look at them, they're twirling. Can you see that?
Yeah. It's gone.
They've just gone into the clouds.
And the back. Dad, can we please go to that green bit?
Oh, you get the idea. This is the Arctic ice sheet, and they go down, 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 all the way to the ground. And he said they'd gone down 3 km in depth. I don't know if I should play this. It's not very Christian of me to play this. Should I? Should I?
So when my son was away, my granddaughter, just like you kids, really, really missed her daddy. So I wrote this book to tell other kids, because there's lots of kids who don't know what it's like.
Nice. No, thank you.
So,
sorry, I have to laugh. It's like, I don't know, I think maybe it's from Donald Trump or somebody that loves Donald Trump. I don't know if it is Donald Trump. Alright, here is something that I just gotta play this. I just have to. Because what's coming, and I'm going to do a video on this later. I want you guys to tune in for this, okay? Please tune in for this, especially if you have a 5G phone. Take the name of your phone, like Samsung, whatever, you know, the name of your phone is. Type it into Google and see if it's 5G capable, okay? If it is 5G capable, this might happen to you one day when you're out shopping near a 5G tower. Right there, watch it. Did you see that right there on the bicycle? What is that? See and hear what is invisible. I don't know, guys. I just don't know. Okay, so on January the 5th, telecoms activate. Let's see, let's put past week. Here's one of them. See, JIO. So this might be like in India. There's going to be like a list of Okay, there's 100 Starlinks now active in Iran. And I saw a thing. There's like so much stuff on this. I can't get into it all right now. But just like, please tune back in. That's less than 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And then 5 more. It's 10 days away. They're going to activate a bunch of stuff. And I have a bad feeling because it's like there's certain things that give symptoms of the, you know what? I have to be careful how I say things too. So just give me a few days. I'm going to work on a video for that. All right. Let's see. We watched that one. Okay, let me get down here to business. Let's get down to business. This guy freaks out on an ATM in Russia because he can't get money out. Give me my money. It's basically. There was a fire in an abandoned warehouse in Dallas, Texas, and then this Home Depot caught on fire in Grand Prairie, Texas. So we got major fires going on near Dallas, Texas today. This one was 6 hours ago. I played that one. If you didn't see it, please watch that part. Crazy things they're spending your money on. This is a tire that they used to make tires with these little ridges in it so that you could just change out, your tire like that. But now today, you have to take it to the thing. They got to put it on the thing. They got to take it off and replace it and charge you all this money. Just saying. We're going backwards. Name this movie. Hey, Watchman. Lady burned down a Home Depot in my area. Just trying to steal $50 worth of stuff. Huh. Are you near Dallas? Or Grand Prairie? All right. This is the one where the guy's like, his pants were down, and I can't put, it's graphic. Okay, but people died. They're laying in the frozen snow in Buffalo, New York. It's bad. I already played that one. This one was really good, but I'm not going to play Alex Jones. You should go watch Alex Jones, though. He's awesome. This is a sinkhole. I'm not sure where it was at, but that's a police station right there. Okay, lots of bodies. Yep. Abrahamic Accords. You hear about that one, Watchmen? They're meeting on the Abrahamic Accords. Washington State. Oh. Just several aisles they burnt down in Washington. Okay. So she can get her $50. People are losing it. Saw one of like this lady in the airport. There's one at Walmart of a lady like holding some lady hostage this past week. 3 more substations in Washington were attacked, and Dabu goes into over 130 substations have been attacked this year, or maybe even in the past 3 months. I can't remember exactly what he said. There was a factory explosion where at least 70 were injured in Iran. I didn't look to see if there was any footage on that. This is where Kamala, they dropped off the illegals at her house for Christmas. This one's in my other video that I did yesterday. This is like a shooting going on right there where the looting and everything happening in Buffalo. This is China. This is one of the other stories that I had. These are like bodies, like bunches and bunches of bodies. This was on Christmas Day. Don't know what to say. My sources inside China from different cities all told me situations are very bad. They all have people they personally know who have just died. So, there's several things. There's hokey pokey, and then the you know what, and then the 5 you know what. It's partially activated. So that can give you symptoms like that. Heart attack and different things. So here's the looting in New York. I showed that one on my video yesterday. That's a Walmart. Flooding going on. And then, oh, this is the one. This is the one that was the homeless that was naked. I'm sorry, that's the one. But I can't show that. This is a child named Baby Alex that got a blood. He got a blood, and then he died of blood clot. And then there's another one in New Zealand where the parents, the kid's name is Will, as in God's will be done. And they're not, like freaking out, fighting. She stood up and wanted her baby back, but the hospital's like, no, we're taking your baby. We're going to give your baby a blood transfusion, and that's that. And they had to do what, her husband was like a big burly guy, and then there was other people there that were with them that were big and burly, but it didn't matter. They're going to take children and do what they like. It's going to get bad. I'm just saying, the communism and socialism and all of that, you're not going to be allowed to say certain things. You're going to lose rights. They're just taking over. This criminal takeover is crazy. Totalitarianism. And then they're calling for people to be arrested in, I think it was New Zealand or something. Like, they're calling for all sorts of Hitler-style stuff. And then this guy, he's like, I took the hokey pokey. I regret it. I feel like crap. Okay. So there's, like, you don't get to hear all those stories. They're not allowed because of the socialism and that was in Saudi Arabia. Flooding. This was an avalanche. I talked about that yesterday. This was Santa Claus over. See, I don't know how they would have done that, though. I'm just wondering if Bluebeam is involved with that. See the Santa Claus? Over the buildings, there's like a track or something in San Francisco or LA. I can see that, but you see like an airplane pulling something maybe. But just know, like, Bluebeam could start happening at any moment, and testing of it or something. You might see some things, strange signs and fearful sights, the Bible says. Fauci's daughter works at Twitter as a software engineer. This says that Putin says Russia's ready to negotiate over Ukraine. I don't know if that's true or not. This is like talking about things I'm not allowed to talk about on here. I put those in my video for Christmas. Here's more dead bodies in China. This one's not far from Shanghai. They're saying that this never happened before. The lady recording this has a Waxy accent. She's exclaiming how many bodies are there. They're just piling up. They can't incinerate them all. They're like a month behind, they said. People not being able to make it, but yet all these retailers are all around. They're all subject to the desperados. Okay. Good to know, Watchman. Active shooter with the Jehovah's Witness. I went over that. Okay, here's another one for Paris. Let's watch this. I'm about showing you the videos while we can. So, here we go. Ooh, that's loud. High pitch screaming or something. Chaos. chaos. Woo! Dang! I mean, they're just going crazy. It all started with the murder of a Kurd in a barber shop, and then the mass gathered, and the fracture has been going on for the second day. That was December 24th. I'm not sure if it's still going on, but they're losing it. All right, this is more about the border. Let's hear what Tucker Carlson has to say.
This is what Denver, Colorado, a long way from the border, looks like now.
With several shelters already at capacity, Mayor Michael Hancock said more are needed to house migrants. More than 900 have arrived in Denver in the past several months, more coming every day.
So let me be frank. This influx of migrants, the anticipated nature of their arrival, and our current space and staffing challenges have put an immense strain on city resources to the level where they're on the verge of reaching a breaking point.
That's in Denver. Again, a long way from our southern border. This is the biggest story in recent American history.
I mean, Tucker knows. Like, I guess he's like insinuating like the people of America don't realize. He knows, though. They give them a yellow envelope with their plane ticket. The Democrats, they've got these funds that they, get the people to the border of Mexico, have them cross in, hand themselves over to the Border Patrol. The Border Patrol then takes them to democratically funded Catholic charities and other democratic things where they give them another envelope with the money in there for the plane ticket and the where to go and who to contact when they get there, and there's an interpreter waiting for them, and it's all organized, and it's human trafficking is what it is. And it's where's our Defense Department? Where's our people at the border? It's like all of the cartels are involved. They're called these people called coyotes, and they help them get across the deep waters and to get across the rivers and know where the places in the fence are where they can just go around. It's like a whole system set up. They got it under, it's a whole business. He knows all this.
A total change in the American population. Millions and millions and millions of new people. The country will never be what it was 5 years ago. Even if you're for this, you would acknowledge this is a big deal, and it's completely ignored by the media, except when they are forced to respond and they tell you to shut up and stop complaining. On ABC News, someone called Martha Raddatz argued that actually it's people who are against immigration who are to blame for the immigration crisis because they're talking about it and therefore advertising it to the rest of the world. Watch this.
You talk about the border wall, you talk about open borders. I don't think I've ever heard President Biden say, we have an open border, come on over. But people I have heard say it are you, are former President Trump, or Ron DeSantis. That message reverberates in Mexico and beyond.
Yeah.
So they do get the message that it is an open border, and smugglers use all those kinds of statements.
You do fervently wish, say, 25,000 Haitians would move to Martha Raddatz's neighborhood tonight. Maybe she'd give different coverage. But until that happens, and since they've been deported from Martha's Vineyard and all the places people like Martha Raddatz live, the Democratic Party is, well, able to continue lying. Here's Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio explaining that really only racists and crazed conspiracy nuts.
Well, it's just happening. What else can you really say about it? All right, let's see some more Paris. Would you like to go here for Christmas in Paris? cross, right? All right, this is the guy that, you know, this is the 5G, and I'm going to do something before 10 days are up. I'm going to find out more about 5G and 6G, and here it says China agreed to expand cooperation in areas such as cutting-edge technologies as 5G and 6G and digital economy. Xi said China and Gulf nations should make full use of Shanghai Oil and Natural Gas Exchange as a platform to trade oil and gas in yuan. They're getting rid of the dollar. More 5G. All this is 5G stuff. Okay. All right, here's some more Paris. Tearing down their own town, you know. And then you got the Arabs coming in, the migrants, but there's just right before that, those were like people from, you know, white boys. So this says Crazy Nancy's in lots of trouble, but yeah, we'll see about that. Graphic video of multiple dead, critically injured after a gas tanker explosion. I don't know if I can play this because some of these say, okay. Alright, but I don't see the content. Is that one? Depicting multiple dead. Gas tanker explosion. Trying to figure out where it's at. I don't know if I had this one written down. I just don't know. Is this the one in Africa? I don't know, but it's extremely violent, and I'm not allowed to play extremely violent unless I have a thing up, and I don't. I didn't want to put up a graphic video the day after, 2 days after Christmas or whatever. 4 killed in that Ohio Turnpike one. I think that one was the worst pileup I saw. 18 Senate Republicans voted for this. Okay, this is part of that where they're spending money on stupid crap like Michelle Obama Trail, $3.6 million. And then they got $3 million for a museum for the LGBTQ people in New York. $3 million for bee-friendly highways. Bees can go above the highway. They can fly pretty high. They can go up and over. Christmas Eve in City of Love. Okay, yeah, here's some more. Yeah, I think you're right, Watchman. That's what I was thinking too. Okay, let's see what this one. Russia launches new caliber missile-capable submarine. So they got tons of submarines out there. They're ready for nuclear war. Celebrate! We're gonna kill a bunch of people! I'm not gonna watch that whole thing. This is supposedly a clone of I saw something a long time ago like this. Like, I'm talking about 30 years ago they had something like this. So I don't know. But it wasn't like real. It was like just, plastic. It's probably fake news. Alright, here's the one. You guys have to watch this.
Give you one example so you'll see, because I don't want to bore you with detailed plans, but they are detailed in my mind. We came out of COVID first. I described that in my book, My Conversations with Albert Bourla of Pfizer, and I persuaded him to give tiny Israel the necessary vaccines to get us out first from the COVID. And the reason I could do that is because we have a database, 98%, a medical database. 98% of our population has digitized medical records and little card, and anywhere you go in any hospital in Israel, north, south, doesn't make any difference. Boom, you punch it in, and you know everything about this patient for the last 20 years. I said, we'll use that to tell you whether these vaccines, what do they do to people, not individual people, not with their individual identities, but statistically, what does it do to people with, meningitis? What does it do to people with high blood pressure? What is it? You want to know that. So Israel became, if you will, the lab for Pfizer. And that's how we did it. We got it out. And we gave the information to the world. Not only, it's been published in medical magazines and so on. That's a database we have. I intend to bring on that database of personal medical records for entire population, a genetic database, genomes, okay? Give me a saliva sample. Volunteer. But I'm sure most people would do it. Maybe we'll pay them.
They have.
Now we have a genetic record on a medical record of a robust population. You have to have diversified populations. We have people from 100 lands. This is a very powerful engine. Now let pharma companies, let medical companies, let them run algorithms on this database, okay? I'm telling you right away that I'll give preference for a few years to Israeli firms, but you can create, and then to the world, but you can create, a biotechnological industry that is unheard of right now, unimagined even. And these are just the examples. So we can become stave off Iran, become a light unto the nations in groundbreaking.
It's all for your health. It's all for your health, guys. Oh my gosh. Only people that know what's going on are going to catch on to what that actually entails. Oh, look at this. So, they've wrote books about it. It's right there for all to see. There's a spirit of Antichrist. There's a spirit of Hitler. Okay, yeah, here's, okay, so I didn't want to go back too far, but this happened on the 24th, the day before Christmas, and it's massive. So I think I'm going to end with this one. Just like an explosion would just like say the whole thing of today is, and hi, whoever just came in and got like 3 people now. That's awesome. 3 people. Government leaders, the real looters, and more news. Okay. So, just blow it all up. Spend it all. Spend all the pensions. Spend all the 401k. Spend, inflate everything higher and higher and make everybody lose their money on the heating bills. Just pour in the HARP. Pour in the Agenda 2030, depopulate to 95% of the people. Just blow it all up. And we'll just leave off with that today. But I do want to give you a ray of hope. Let me show you a picture. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Think about your goals this year. Tell a few people your crazy conspiracy theories, because most of all, the conspiracy theories have come true. So they're not theories anymore, they're facts. And we're watching it all happen right before our eyes. And my prediction for 2023, unfortunately, is we're going to see a lot of deaths. That's my prediction for 2023. I love you all. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on your armor, because our weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They're not flesh. They're not of this world. They are mighty to the pulling down of strongholds. So we got to take a look in the mirror. We got to set goals for this next year. And whatever it is that your purpose is on this earth, go for it. Whatever it is. Because it might be our last year here. And I just want to encourage you to be strong in the Lord and pull down any strongholds over your life, any unforgiveness, and just be free, completely free in your mind. Be free. Even if they take you to a FEMA camp, even if they 5G you and you end up in the hospital, be free in your mind that you're strong in the Lord. And that this is all, and that we're going to be gone in the twinkling of an eye, or we're going to be dead in the twinkling of, like, a year or so to go. I'm pessimistic, okay? But in my mind, I'm joyful. I see what's coming, but I'm joyful because I have the Lord and I have the millennial reign. That's like 1,000 years of helping people on this earth to not have these atrocities that are happening. We are going to be partakers in the new millennium with Christ. We're partakers in his suffering right now, which sucks. But in the millennial reign, we're going to be partakers in his kingdom as helpers and in our new body, and we'll be able to fly, and we'll be able to feed the world. There'll be no more poverty. The Antichrist is going to promise all that stuff during the Great Tribulation, but he's not going to fulfill any of it. He's just going to be like, oh, we have med beds or whatever it is. But you're not going to see the med beds. You're not going to see space travel. You're not going to see, and if you have Christ and you die or you are raptured, you're going to see the new kingdom of God and all of its completeness, all of its glory, and you're going to have a new body and you're going to have eternal life. That's Jesus Christ. He is eternal life. And if you have him, you have eternal life. So don't be discouraged by this world. The world behind me, the cross before me. You got to pick up your cross and you got to follow him. And he suffered. He was a servant. So when you serve people, don't do it for, like, credit or anything like that. Just be like, Lord, I'm doing this for you. I'm your hands. I'm your feet. I'm going to give people a glass of water. That story at the beginning was wonderful. How that guy took those North or South Koreans in. I think it was South Koreans because North Koreans are kind of in bondage. But yeah, he took them into their home and they were freezing, and there was like a bunch of them, like 12. It was really cool. So go watch the beginning of this. There's a really fascinating story of goodwill towards men. And so that's what's going to be the millennial reign. We're going to be in our awesome bodies and be able to help people. So I love you all. This is the explosion in South Africa. It could all be over like that in a flash. It could be a nuclear bomb. That's what it reminds me of. It's so massive. It's so huge. Look at that. Like, that could happen. I saw that in a dream. The fire inside the black cloud just barreling towards me, and then instantly I was in heaven in this castle with no windows. Boom. And you're with God in the blink of an eye. So I love you all, and I thank you for joining me. Thank you, Watchman. Sacred Serbian, I didn't get to see what you said because you retracted it, but hey, Sherelle. Good to talk to you last night. So enjoy the rest of this year and into the new year. And I'll try to come on another day before New Year's Eve, or maybe New Year's Eve. I don't know. I might do something. We'll see. All right. Love you guys.